All right, Alan. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
Appreciate you meeting with the first session and making time to meet with me in a second session. First thing I would like to do is to go through kind of an overview and set the agenda for you so we know what we're doing.
Okay.
All right. In the session today, I thought we'd review how your goal worked out this past week. I'd like to go over developing a food plan, utilizing the sources I've already provided you, so loseit.com and My Plate Plan, as well as a new one I'm going to show you today. We're going to review how to keep a food diary, and then we're going to discuss your physical activity. How's it sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. I have brought my notes with me from the previous session. I'm going to go through real quick and just to make sure there's no discrepancies, okay?
Okay.
So there's a couple different sections. So, Alan, I have you as a PE teacher and a coach from a 6th to 12th grade independent charter school. Never followed the specific plan outside of calorie restriction for wrestling in high school and college. Lunch is the only scheduled meal, doesn't plan breakfast, and dinner is kind of a mixture of frozen pizza, sometimes chicken breast and veggies, or his roommate's leftovers. Open to try anything really, open to new ideas. Runs generally twice per week with students, tries to weightlift once per week. Eats fast food about, I took a liberty here because you said sometimes. I said eats fast food about twice a week on the way home from work.
That's once or twice. Yeah, that works.
Okay, I'll say once or twice.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if it was more than once. You're in charge of your own shopping and cooking.
Yep.
Okay, and you have great social support with your roommate and your girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, and just through some of the stats here, you're 34, 5'9", 195.
Yes.
Okay, we did discuss BMI, and if yours is at 28.9. We're going to get into that later. The classification is overweight, and we'll discuss it more, okay? I did a calculation on my own using, it's called the Hamway method, and this is used to determine the ideal body weight for somebody with your characteristics. So your age group, your height. It doesn't take into consideration muscle mass and body fat percentage. So this is why it's ideal. It's like more of a, in a hypothetical great perfect world, we're there, but there's ranges within it too.
Okay.
And that's about 160 pounds. But there's a plus and minus of like a standard deviation of like a couple pounds here and there. So I'm not saying you have to weigh that, that's just an ideal, okay? Knowing medical indications, you said you had bleeding gums, brushing your teeth. Now, I did with the DRI calculator, and we did, you should get about 3,281 calories to maintain your weight, is what they predict. MyPlate.gov said 2,600 calories to achieve a healthy weight. And from what I learned in class, I did some calculations, about 3,000 calories per day. So we're going to stay within that range of about 2,600 to 3,000. A little background noise. Is that okay?
Yes.
Then from there, that's pretty much a breakdown of everything. Does that sound accurate?
Yes.
Okay. There's a PE class letting out. All right. So, based off of that, I'd like to move on. So let's move on, and I'd like to first address last week's goal. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So, how did your week go? Regarding, if you want to restate the goal you had for us.
Yeah. So the goal of having 2 servings of fruit per day. I had a big bowl in my house, so I was able to go to the store and got 14 servings of fruit. Put that in the bowl, and the goal was to finish it all before we met today. So throughout the week, I didn't quite get there. I probably ate about 11 servings of the 14 servings. And I did put it in a good spot to grab it. It just, for some reason, just walking by it. But I did eat a lot more fruit this week than I have in the past.
That's something that I think you should be happy with, because is that more than you had before?
It's a lot more than before.
Yeah, and being that this is only a week into it, and we didn't like really hardcore get in the goal setting, that's really good. Did you mix it up? Was it different fruits, or did you go with one?
I just went apples and oranges.
Okay.
I got some big oranges and some green apples.
Good. Okay. Then the next thing we want to look at is using that assessment graphic we used last time. What would you say in terms of the goal that we set? How would you say you stuck to it in terms of a 1 to 10, with 5 and 6 being kind of in the middle, 10 being perfect, 1 being horrible?
I'd say probably like an 8.
Probably?
Yeah.
8 out of 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you choose 8 versus a 9?
So I feel like I was little bit further away from what my goal wanted to be, and a 9 is almost like perfect. And 7, I felt like it was like a little bit too much towards the not sure category.
Okay, good. That's really good. In terms of that goal, do you feel guilty about not meeting it, or are you happy about it?
I feel happy because it's an improvement where I was from before. I almost like ate the rest of the servings this morning before I got here, just so I can meet the goal. But
So you can say you did it?
yeah,
Yeah, you probably have a lot of energy, that's for sure.
yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, I actually like I do bananas sometimes before a workout. It's a good, in terms of the glycemic index, it provides quick energy. So, in terms of barriers and things like that, I would say overall the week went pretty well. Is there anything specifically, you said the bowl was in a good place, you have the right mindset. What types of barriers do you think might have been in place to prevent? Was it just getting used to it?
I think maybe I get like a third option of fruit. I think I just wasn't in the mood for an apple and an orange sometimes. I think if I got like a third like fruit maybe that might help out.
Yeah, and I just think getting used to anything, 7 days is tough. I know when I first started introducing vegetables, man, it wasn't easy. And it's creating a good habit or just replacing an old habit with a better habit. That's a lot of times that kind of food swap is a good thing. It's because you can't just eliminate a habit. It's replacing it with something more beneficial. Okay. So then what I'd like to get into, unless there's other things that you want to address regarding that goal, is there any other barriers we can help remove?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So I think in general with your support from your roommates and just you making the decisions and actually being interested in making the change, those are some of your biggest strengths right now, and we should continue to build on that. I mean, so with our first goal, I'd say we were pretty successful, so hopefully implementing further ones, we can be as successful.
Okay.
We'll build off that. We'll use the methods we use to determine that one to build our further goals.
Great.
So then what I want to do is we're going to have a little bit of an educational session here, okay? My goal is to develop a food plan. I want to use a variety of sources. You're already familiar using the food tracker, loseit.com. You're familiar with the choosemyplate.gov.
Yep.
And I've printed up some cool documents. And we use the DRA calculator. It's definitely not necessary. I just like to show that to people if they really want to break down, they have it. So that's a tool you can utilize. And by the end of this little session here, I want to have made a food plan that we can have you use. I mean, if there's a time constraint, maybe we get about half a day. At least I'd like to get 2 meals planned so you have a template.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So, in regards to a question, we were talking about meat. Serving size is 3 ounces. I was saying a deck of cards. And in my mind, that still is a common reference, but a better one, they said if you kind of open your palm, like your hand like this, you put it out, basically this part right here is about 3 ounces, including the thickness of your hand. So that'll give you the size of meat. Okay. And because I wanted to give you a better reference, like, because people don't carry around a deck of cards, but at least you always have your hand to refer to. So, cool. And then the water too, you're looking between, we're talking about cups per day. It depends on the glasses you have at home, but you're looking between 8 and 12 ounces, 16 servings, if you're going to be active.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure we clarified those things. So what I'd like to do then is go through and show you, review the myplate.gov, and I forgot I had to log into the school's website, but we should be able to go quick here. I just got to go to Northwest, right? So,
It doesn't work. I know how to connect to like the dorm Wi-Fi.
there we go. I connect it real quick. Let's see.
Dorm Wi-Fi?
Oh, actually, it might be working. Oh,
Where's your
Wi-Fi is right there.
Where's Northwest dorm?
I always use the guest.
Is that?
Try that.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying, I just didn't see the dorm on there. Normally I can connect to that.
So, okay. Luckily, I kept them open from last time.
Oh, great.
So, loseit.com, very simple. I keep it in my browser saved. It's very simple. You have choices you can put into breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when you add the food, it has, if you have a saved list, so this is where you search here.
Okay.
These are foods that, I think since I'm not logged in, it's not loading it, but all the previous foods I have always show up.
Okay.
And this was actually the breakdown of your typical day that I actually sent you a picture of this. It's not super accurate because if you look here, for some reason,
You did say that, yeah.
it doesn't give the breakdown. I went to the DiGiorno website, but it gives you the total calories. That's why I told you this stuff was going to be off.
Okay.
But this is an indication. Your carbs are about 55%, your fats are about 19, and proteins are about 25. That's pretty much identically in line with what athletes generally get, about 24% protein at max. But then these breakdowns for carbs and fat are about the same. So we can make some adjustments. But
Okay.
do you have any questions about the site?
No, I like this right down here, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's from me.
No,
So you can make personal goals. You can put your weight in. So
Cool.
that tells me an anticipated date where I make my weight. I'm actually 158.8 now, so I got to change that. So any questions with this site?
No.
Okay. So then we'll go to the Choose My Plate. Go to choosemyplate.gov.
He's right here.
That is your plate plan. Yeah, I was hoping the website. So I think we're having the Wi-Fi issues still. It's not a big deal. But what's weird is normally if I go to Northwest School,
See, right. Like, you should be able to find this.
yeah, so this is working. I think we're just having Wi-Fi problems in general. See, here's where I got to be. Sign in with Google. Now we're good. Wi-Fi connection problems. All right, we're good now. Okay, so choose. Okay. So was there anything with this website that you needed clarification on?
No. We went through it, and I only looked at this like once this last week, but went off like the pictures you sent me.
Okay. And so what I've done for you here is with myplate.gov, they have these, I'll just show it for here.